Peter Thiel set off a firestorm when he supported President Trump in the first place. There was a big question of whether he even should remain on the Facebook board, and Zuckerberg defended him. We'll talk about that, but first, what do we know about his move?
Well, it sounds like he's moving his staff to LA and keeping some of his other investment vehicles. So Mithril Capital and Founders Fund are staying in San Francisco. They're already kind of set up here. But it seems like he's going to move. He already owned a house that he bought a few years ago, and he seems to be calling it quits.
So look, a lot of people in Silicon Valley, in fact, almost all of Silicon Valley was not happy about his support of President Trump. But I mean, is he leaving just because he's not well liked? I mean, why is he doing this?
Not according to what he's told some of the people that we've talked to. I mean, he's been saying that Silicon Valley is toxic, that he also says, like, there are economic conditions here that make it very expensive and just not a good place to start a business anymore. Another incentive is that we've heard and many other people have reported that he's starting a conservative news network. And, LA is a pretty good place to start a media company. There are actually a lot of conservative news organizations based out of there, like Breitbart has a big presence there, Drudge,
Do we know
Daily
anything
Wire.
more about his media plans?
It still seems pretty early, but he's also looking to buy Gawker, which is not necessarily related, but he's definitely looking to get into the media game.
So, Ellen, the Wall Street Journal also reported that he considered resigning from the Facebook board, and at the very least that there was a big tiff between Netflix CEO Reed Hastings, who's also on the Facebook board, and Thiel himself about his support for Trump.
Yeah, Reed Hastings had written a letter that had been leaked last year, I believe, that basically said that he thought that because Thiel supported Trump that he was unfit to serve on the Facebook board. And there were probably other tensions too. It seems like other people have reported that Mark Zuckerberg also asked Hastings and Thiel if they had leaked this information. It just seems like there was a lot of friction in the board. We don't really know why Thiel might have wanted to leave, but it does seem, it might be related to one of his other complaints about Silicon Valley, which is that it's overrun by groupthink, that everyone thinks the same, and there isn't really, an acceptance of other kinds of thinking, and maybe he might have felt that same way about the Facebook board.
Facebook is also right now in an incredibly difficult position. They are under a lot of pressure to make some dramatic changes, and obviously the accusations that, meddling on Facebook could have swayed the election. Mark Zuckerberg, of course, came out when Thiel supported Donald Trump and said, if you believe in diversity, why would we kick off someone who believes in
ideological diversity?
Right,
was maybe the phrase he
supports Donald Trump. But do you think any of this has to do with some of the struggles that Facebook is facing right now?
The thing about Thiel is he seems to feed off of friction.
Mm-hmm.
So, and our reporting, Lizette Chapman has been talking to a lot of people today. It doesn't seem to reflect any plans for him to actually leave that board. It's just part of his personality is to disagree with people. I think maybe he feels like, especially a pariah now after the election, and is relocating to LA to have some distance. But I don't think he's going to remove himself entirely from the Valley scene. He's still going to be a partner at Founders Fund, which is his big investment vehicle, and he'll be back here constantly talking to entrepreneurs and making investments.
What does this mean for Founders Fund? Thiel is, to be honest, he's the big name there.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like Founders Fund had said that he's still going to be involved in the same way. He still has to approve the same large investment decisions that Founders Fund makes. And Mark is right. Founders Fund is kind of his marquee investment firm. He has other investment vehicles, but this is the one that people in the Valley are most familiar with and think most frequently of, and when thinking of the name Peter Thiel.
How soon is this happening, his move to LA?
He's already got a house there, as Ellen mentioned, so he's essentially like moving now. The relocation of the two investment firms is happening in like the next few months, I think. So it's all pretty imminent, and then that news network, it remains to be seen when that actually happens, but that's definitely something he's thinking about.